A Pittman, New Jersey man gave his life to save a drowning woman whose own life hangs in the balance tonight. Coast Guard boats and helicopters searched the waters off Ocean City this afternoon for 24-year-old Edward Schwartacki. He was carried away by the same undertow that trapped two women who went wading off the beach. Schwartacki and two other men heard their cries and dove in to help, and Schwartacki drowned. Keith Davies told Anthony Mason the current almost got him too.
The undertow was sweeping me out as I got married, the first girl. I couldn't swim back to the beach. I was being sucked out myself, so I swam over to the jetty. The temperature? Cold.
Keith Davies is in satisfactory condition, but one of the women he helped to save is in critical condition tonight. 18-year-old Maddie Lapp of Strasburg, Pennsylvania, got to the hospital without a heartbeat, and she's, on a life support system tonight. 47-year-old Mary Fisher of Lancaster, Pennsylvania, is in serious condition. Edward Schwartacki's body was found about 2 hours after the accident, just a few yards from where he disappeared.
Just minutes ago, a Marxist guerrilla group
Aircraft to Terminal Gate.
3 weeks ago, Keith Davies was an instant hero when he saved two women from drowning down at the Jersey shore. Early this morning, the 23-year-old lost his life in a car-motorcycle accident in Margate. Davies was one of three men who answered the cries for help from two women caught in the undertow of the surf off Ocean City, New Jersey. One of the men who Davies went into the water with drowned, and Keith Davies told Anthony Mason that the water almost got him too.
The undertow was sweeping me out as I got married, the first girl. I couldn't swim back to the beach. I was being sucked out myself, so I swam over to the jetty. The temperature? Cold.
Keith Davies was treated at Shore Memorial Hospital the day he saved those two lives. Today's traffic accident was only 10 miles from the beach where Davies pulled those two ladies out of the water. And it was at that same hospital that Keith Davies was pronounced dead on arrival this morning. A 14-year-old Chester girl is in critical condition.
Locating the unidentified Ben Salem man. A young hero from Bryn Mawr who risked his life to save two women from drowning just 2 weeks ago lost his life over the weekend in Margate. 23-year-old Keith Davies had a brush with death May 26 when he jumped into the 55-degree surf off Ocean City to rescue two women pulled under by the severe undertow. Early Sunday morning, Keith Davies was struck and killed by a car while riding his motorcycle through Margate. Davis was pronounced dead at Shore Memorial Hospital, the same hospital where he was interviewed by Anthony Mason, where he was treated after his heroic rescue effort last month.
The National Transportation Safety Board is...
Keith Davies, the man who saved two women from drowning in Ocean City 3 weeks ago, was killed on his motorcycle yesterday. And tonight, members of his family, including his twin, remember a real hero. The state of New Jersey cut some red tape for thousands who depend on Medicaid benefits. And a South Jersey community goes to bat for a junior high school principal who brought a real difference to their children. And we're going to tell you what is open and what is closed tomorrow because it is Flag Day. That's when we see you at 6 o'clock. Larry, Linda?
Thank you, Steve. And tonight
has not turned up any new clues. Well, this next story shows how unfair real life can be. 2 weeks ago, we told you how a man swam out after two Amish women who were being dragged out to sea around Ocean City by swift currents there. The women were saved, and that man, Keith Davies, at that time was a hero. Yesterday, Davies was killed in a freak motorcycle accident, and today, Bill Baldini found out just how much we all lost.
This was Keith Davies just 2 weeks ago when he shyly granted an interview after he helped rescue two Amish women who almost drowned in this raging surf in Ocean City, New Jersey. Another rescuer, Edward Schwartacki, did drown. The water was a cold 55 degrees, and Keith suffered exposure, hypothermia, and water in the lungs.
I heard these cries for help and I looked down to the beach and I saw Amish women just scattering, running. They seemed like they didn't know what was going on, in a panic. Wading in the water, and a wave knocked them over, and with their heavy skirts on and stuff, they got sucked out.
Even though Keith Davies was only 23 years old, he made a big difference in this world because he helped save two lives. You have to wonder what kind of person he was, and to find out, we came here to his Bryn Mawr home to speak to his family. Keith's parents, John and Esther Davies, were not surprised when Keith acted instinctively to save those women.
He was an Eagle Scout, and that's one of the big things they push in scouting is citizenship. And I think some of that rubbed off him, and plus his family background. And the events of 2.5 weeks ago brought that out.
I sort of feel that Keith did his duty, saved those women, And maybe all of his bodybuilding and what he felt in life was to do something always good.
His twin, Scott, and older brother, John, are also reeling from the shock of losing Keith. To them, Keith was a regular guy who liked a good time, but not at the expense of others. They say he was never impressed with himself, especially after the rescue, when everyone called him a hero.
I think he perceived he just did what he would always do. That's the kind of thing Keith would do.
It's the kind of thing he would do. It is the kind of thing that might be everyone's responsibility to do, but that we're not all able to do. You know, I could not react as quickly as he did.
Keith Davies, an ordinary guy and a hero, a man worth remembering because he made a difference. Bill Baldini, Channel 10 News.